Hey Pigeons, how's it going? Today we have new career simulation. Today we'll be doing the McJesus, the McDaddy, the McSavior, the chosen one. Yeah, I'm talking about Connor Mcdavid. If you weren't already familiar with him, he's the best player in the world. Uses his lightning quick speed and his buttery smooth mitts to make opponents look silly. I'll be simulating his career in NHL20's GM mode, in which I'll take care of the Florida Panthers and I'll automate everything to stay out of Edmonton's way. He definitely has a shot at beating records in real life, so let's see how he does in NHL 20. Let's go. Here we are, year one, Edmonton Oilers. Got McDavid and Dry, obviously. James Neal in the wing. Other than that, got Nuge at center on the second line. The rest of the guys are pretty weak. On D, couple pieces. You got Klepom, Larson, Nurse. Other three, I wouldn't expect too much. Power play could be lethal with McDavid and Draisaitl. In goal, Koskinen and Smith. That's an okay tandem, but wouldn't expect anything out of this world for them. Looking at McDavid's stats, you guys can have a look. 5 stars across the board, other than that physical category. But offensive awareness is up there. Puck skills are up there, of course. He's got that big contract, 7 years left, so at least he'll be staying on Edmonton. He's at 95 overall. His past year's stats, see career high of 41 and 116 points. Pretty good player. He's been trending upwards. Playoffs, just that one experience. Let's jump to the end of the season now. Unreal year for the Oilers, 98 points, 47 wins, 3.28 goals for. That's pretty good. Goals against under 3, also good. Power play is lethal, just like I told you guys, and PK is that's a real good PK. Looking at McDavid, holy pop off, why don't you? 110 points, missed a few games with injury, looks like. Yeah, injuries are on. At 45 goals, it's career high, as well as 34 power play points. That's impressive. Up to 96. They lost in Game 7 of the first round, and McDavid really struggled. Only 3 points, 1 goal, no power play points. Awards, New Jersey brings home the cup. Good for them. Did not expect that, honestly. Presidents goes to the Dallas Stars, and who's in the finals? It was Minnesota, New Jersey. That's shocking. That is shocking. Who took home the Art Ross? McDavid, and his teammate Draisaitl brought home the Hart. That's pretty interesting. Wonder when the last time that happened was. Any other Oilers here? Nope. Vasilevsky, Dylan. Our coach wins the Jack Adams. Draisaitl wins the Ted Lindsay. Wow, robbed McDavid of that one, I'd say. But on to year two now. See how it goes. Looking at year two lines for Edmonton, Draisaitl, McDavid. Draisaitl's up to a 94. Neal's up to an 84. Puljujärvi cracks the lineup. Things are looking up. Still bottom 6, and the depth is not as great. Defense similar. Bear cracks the lineup, looking good at an 82. And in goal, interesting tactic to have 69 overall there. As I said in the intro, I'm controlling Florida. Edmonton sent me this trade offer. Thought I'd accept it since it came from them. Interesting decision on their part to get rid of James Neal, one of their best wingers. But see how it pays out. Jump into the end of the season, and just a dismal season from the Oilers. I guess the Canadian market pressure got to them. 76 points, third last. Goals for was still up there, but goals against, that's just atrocious at 3.54. McDavid still kept up with his point totals, scoring 45 again. Missed one game to injury. Draisaitl keeping up there, 97 points. That's good. Power play points are still up there. 96 overall still. See his stats are up a little bit in every category. Your year two cup champs are the Bruins. Also won the President's Trophy. So San Jose and the Bruins in the finals. It's a good matchup, I'd say. I'd watch that. Art Ross goes to McDavid for the 4th time in 5 years in this game. Hart goes to McDavid. Carlson wins the Norris. McKinnon with the Being. Kravtsov. Marchand wins the Conn Smythe. The Rat. Fuller wins the Vez. And the Jennings. See if McDavid wins anything. There you go. Ted Lindsay for McDavid. Seguin wins the the Maurice. And yeah, McDavid won the Art Ross. Year 3. Here are your lines. Similar, but with Neal gone, Puljujärvi jumps into the first line slot, and at 86 overall, he looks ready for it. Other than that, bottom 6 looks a little bit younger. On D, similar lineup. Nothing spectacular, but might be able to get the job done. Passable job. And signed Pecorino in free agency to a big old $6 million contract at 36 years old. So Rene and Dubnik, that's an old pair. End of year 3 here. Oilers enjoy a nice bounce back season, finishing 12th in the league, 94 points. Goals for weren't that high, just below 3, but goals against, they kept them down. Power play, not great at just under 16%. And yeah, that reflects in the player stats. McDavid, 90 points, not a bad season. Draisaitl missed 10 games, so probably hurt McDavid's totals. Still managed to score 14 power play goals, which definitely gives you a nice bump in the stats. Almost played 21 and a half minutes per game, so he's definitely a workhorse for the Oilers. Going into his playoff stats, wow, great playoffs, great bounce back playoffs for McDavid. That's what I expect from him. 25 points in 17 games, 11 goals, +3, 6 power play points. Here, Philly wins the Cup, Vegas president, so Colorado and Philly in the finals. Jack Eichel wins the Art. Ross, McDavid's nemesis. He also wins the Hart. Other than that, looking for any Oilers or McDavid. Not looking like it. Selke goes to Barkey. And Eichel wins the Lindsay, as well as the Maurice. So, big year from Eichel. Year 4 lines looking a little different with Draisaitl on the second line. Putting Nuge up there instead, probably because of the decreased output from last year. But other than that, lineup is looking a lot deeper than we're used to. Some good prospects there on the third line, and some younger guys on the fourth as well. See what's going on D. Same in goal. Talbot's back, and so is Rodrigue, the 74 overall now. Talbot's back, I guess, 35. End of the season here. Oilers, another disappointing season. 4th last, only 78 points. The goals just weren't there, 2.79, and that's just too many to give up. Power play, not great. PK, passable at 81. Individual stats, McDavid, below a point per game for the first time in his career, I believe. And Draisaitl, just not what you expect out of him. Only 21 points, so on the power play, so power play was a little disappointing. Going to the awards, Columbus, yeah, no, no Edmonton there, that's for sure. Kinnan taking home a few awards, a couple more. Dubois wins the Conn Smythe. Anderson wins the Vezina, sorry. See, McKinnon wins the Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard. Here we are in year 5 already. Forward lines, Saad has jumped up to the first line at 86. McDavid's still at 96. Got Zubov, nice prospect there on the second line, and real nice prospect there on the third line. Puljujärvi seems to have stopped growing. On D, signed Gardner. And in goal, Talbot's back for another season and back up to 72. So here we go. End of the year now. Edmonton back up to 8th place in the league, 99 points. That's good. 3.2, that's exceptional. Goals against, not bad, under 3. Power plays back. Individual stats, McDavid only 84 points, but looking over there, he only played 76 games, so missed a few, too many to injury. Still on pace for 90 plus. 26 power play points, that's pretty good. Almost 21 minutes of ice time. Oh, absolute horse. 96 overall still. 27 years of age now. Let's look at his playoff stats. Lost in the second round. Only 2 goals. Put up 10 points, but, 2 goals you're expecting more from the best player in the world. Vegas wins the Cup in year 5. Presidents goes to the Maple Leafs. That will never happen in real life. Cup was Pittsburgh and Vegas. Barkey wins the Art Ross, as well as the Hart. Carr wins the Norris. Smith wins the Smythe. That's hard to say. Gustafson wins the William M. Jennings. Selke goes to O'Reilly. And Barkey wins Ted Lindsay. Oh, Eichel captures another Maurice Richard, so that's not good for McDavid. Year 6, Yamamoto jumps up to join McDavid and Saad in the first line. Draisaitl stays on the second line. That's pretty good second line, and I feel like they might be wasting third line center down there, but oh well. Looking at their D, let's see what we got. Similar lineup, we got McCabe in there and Hickey, as well as Bouchard, but nothing too spectacular as usual. In goal, signed Brossoit and Kincaid, so the goalie carousel continues. Is that Blake Wheeler scratched? Yep, Blake Wheeler and Gardner. Wheeler scratched, okay. Interesting signing, I guess. McDavid still at 96, 2 years left on that big contract. The end of year 6 has the Oilers finishing 7th, 95 points, 45 wins, and an astounding 3.72 goals for per game. That's incredible. That bodes well for McDavid's stats. Hopefully he gets more than 100 points this year. 25% on the power play. It's pretty good. First in the league for goals for. And McDavid, of course, above 100 points. 42 goals, and Saad with 43 and 43. Impressive. Only 20 power play points. That's not as many as I expected. Playoffs, unfortunately, lost in 5 games. McDavid managed to score 3, trying to do it all himself. Didn't tally any assists, but two of his 3 points came on the power play, so got to convert at even strength. Stanley Cup goes to the Sharks. They faced off against the Devils. Interesting. Individual, Wong wins the Art Ross. Okay. As well as the Hart. Carlson wins the Norris. Conn Smythe goes to Kerfoot. Well, what a year for him. Vezina goes to Gustafsson. As well as the Jennings. Brant Clark wins the Masterton. Selke goes to Barkov. And Michael captures another Maurice. Here's the playoff picture. As you can see, lost to Vegas in 5. Here we go, boys. Year 7. We got Zubov jumping up to play with the big boys, Mcdavid and Saad. Second line, you got Nugent Hopkins and Elliott. Elliott jumped up to 90, so he's filling in that second line spot. Draisaitl unfortunately left in free agency, so that does create kind of a gaping hole in the bottom 6. D, much of the same, nothing special. Going to the power play, Elliott. Okay, good thing he's on the first power play. Maybe they'll get some new chemistry there on the power play. And in goal, Brossoit and Ranta. Not expecting too much. Heponiemi scratched. Good year for the Oilers despite losing Draisaitl in the offseason. Finishing 10th. Goals for per game up there. Goals against are under 3. Power play up to 25%. PK 82. Looking good. McDavid 101 points. It's good. Saad with 94 points. Wow, he's running shotgun with McDavid. Elliott, good season. Zubov as well. Looks like we got 4 guys that can really carry the load offensively, and 34 points. That's what it is, folks. If you put up over 30 power play points, you're going to get some pretty good totals. Playoffs, again, lost in 5. Pretty similar to last year for McDavid. -3, though, this time. And 3 power play points. Stars take home the cup. Presidents go to Chicago, and it was Dallas, New York Rangers. Individual awards. Art goes to Seguin. He also wins the Hart. Merkley takes home the Norris. Another trophy for Seguin there. And the Conn Smythe. Samsonov takes home the Jennings. Selke goes to Miettinen. Ted Lindsay goes to Seguin as well. And Hawley takes home the Maurice Richard. Year 8, coming back with the same first line. Saad, McDavid, Zubov. RNH has left the team in free agency. Looking at the bottom 6, that's pretty weak. Duck Pozo down there. D, got Carlo and this new prospect Millman. Other than that, it's not too strong. Got Holtby in net, 37 years of age and 85. Let's see what he signed. 2 years, 6 point something. And McDavid re-signed for a 8-year extension at 13.36. That's a decent amount of cash in the bank. Oilers once again finishing around that 10th spot, 95 points. Goals for just above 3, and goals against also hovering around 3. Power play above 20, so that's good. And PK is passable at 81. McDavid, 95 points, only played 76 games, so was on pace for 100 plus, but not the same season he had last year. Only 18 power play points. That's kind of disappointing. Guess he spread the wealth around. See if they did any damage in the playoffs, and nope, got swept. Only 3 points, -3, so 3 straight disappointing playoff appearances for McDavid. Tampa wins the cup. They faced off against the Sharks in the finals in year 8. Art Ross went to McKinnon. He also won the Hart. Carr takes home the Norris. And the Bing goes to McKinnon. Conn Smythe goes to Stammer. Vesna goes to Jones. Ullmark takes home the Jennings. Selke goes to Kotkaniemi. And Ted Lindsay McKinnon, as well as the Maurice Richard. Here's a playoff tree. As you can tell, I got swept by Vegas. Year 9, this might be the year. First line's back together. Zubov, McKinnon, Saad. Second line, Ikonen, Elliott, Patrick. That's okay. Third line, they got Jesper Bachfus in there. And fourth line's not great. Decor. Nurse, Millman continues to progress. And, yep, here he is. 6th overall pick, top 4. Got Clefbaum and Erik Karlsson, 37 years of age. Got signed him to a 1-year, $8 million contract. Maybe he'll help out the power play. And in goal, the trade deadline, despite being in the run, in contention, the Oilers trade away Saad, one of their best wingers, and Erik Karlsson. So, not sure what they're doing here with McDavid now in his 30s. Should be going for a cup, but I guess not. End of year 9, they still make the playoffs despite dumping Saad and Karlsson, 95 points. Managed to score 3.2 goals per game without those two guys, but the goals against are a little higher than you want to see them. Power play dropped. PK's okay. Looking at individual stats, McDavid has a great season, putting up 30 and 76 for 106 points. Zubov does well. Elliott struggles with only 50 points. And power play just hasn't been clicking. Hasn't been the same since Draisaitl left. Playoffs, let's see how they did. And finally, they make it out of the first round. Made it to the conference finals. McDavid, it's a great playoff from him. Good to see him get back into playoff form. I guess once he goes past the first round, that's when he starts to really turn it on. 7 power play points. That's good as well. 21 minutes of ice. Just a beast out there. And here's a playoff tree. Ended up losing to the Stars in the conference finals, and they went on to win it all. Going to the awards screen here. Like I just said, Dallas won the cup. See who they faced off against. Looks like they played the Leafs. So McDavid captures his first Art Ross in a number of seasons. Good on him. Kinnan goes for the Hart. Seguin takes home another Conn Smythe. Vesna goes to Ullmark and the Jennings. Masterton goes to Ekblad. Our coach wins the Jack Adams. No dice on the Ted Lindsay for McDavid, so he'll stick with the Art Ross. Before we head into year 10, I'd just like to encourage you guys to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and if you'd like to see more. This type of video takes a long time to make. It might be why I sound a little bit tired in these recordings, but please let me know if you enjoy. 10 years into the sim, let's look at the forward lines. McDavid, Zubov, Saad appears to be gone. Ikonen's replacing him, but his forward core is going the wrong way. This team's getting worse instead of getting better. It's not looking good for McDavid, now up to 31 years old. Only got a few more good seasons in him. D, Millman still there. Yeah, more of the same, not great. Goal, nothing spectacular. A couple no names. Krug, I noticed he was scratched, so I looked at his contract. 37 years of age, and he signed to $8 million, so it's not good on the cap front. Jump into the end of the season now. Edmonton just misses out on a playoff spot. 85 points. It's usually not enough to get you in there. Managed to score a decent amount of goals, but Far too many against. Power play just hasn't been there again. PK was atrocious this season. Individual stats, McDavid, had a good year, 94 points, but yeah, when you only have two guys scoring above 55 points, you're gonna have a hard time. Only 19 power play points, not getting those 30 power play points like he used to when Draisaitl was around. Still at 96, 32, still has his exact franchise and 6 years left on his deal. Dallas captures another Stanley Cup, their third in 4 years. New Jersey a second consecutive presidents, and they also made it to the finals, so it's Dallas and New Jersey. And the individual awards, Seguin wins another Art Ross. He's just been tearing it up in this sim. Hughes wins the Hart. Norris goes to Bachfist. Seguin wins another Lady Bing. This guy wins a Calder. Don't know who he is. Donato wins a Conn Smythe. Okay. DiPietro wins the Vezina. The Jennings goes to DiPietro as well. Selke goes to Holly for the second consecutive season. Hughes wins the Lindsay, and Seguin wins the Richard. Here we go, year 11. Let's see what we got. Zubov, McDavid, and Pablo Connor comes up from who knows where. I think he might have been on the fourth line before, but it's not exactly who you want on McDavid's wing. Landon Elliott, still a beauty there on the second line. Third line's got some good depth now, but apart from those three top fours, you don't got much. D, much of the same. Just a couple NHL defensemen, but no superstars. Power play could do some work with those three, Elliott, McDavid, and Zubov. In goal, 279s, that's not too promising. No, they're pretty young, but don't expect much. Oilers met their low expectations, finishing 21st in the league. Not great. 82 points. Good goal output, but goals against was worse. Power play was lethal at 27%. What did I say? Again, on the money with this power play prediction, but PK is terrible. David, a great season, 109 points, matching his career high for 48 goals. Zubov with 45 goals as well and 106 points. Wow. This is like McDavid and Draisaitl all over again. There you go. 35 power play points, 18 power play goals. Great year for McDavid, turning in one of his best seasons at age 33. Vegas wins the Cup. New Jersey continues their regular season dominance, and it was Vegas versus the Islanders in the finals. McDavid wins another Art Ross to add to his collection. Svech wins the Hart. Norris goes to Makar. Bing goes to Point. Calder goes to Corson. Conn Smythe is won by Lucas Raymond. Enlund wins the Vezina. Jennings goes to Nordstrom. Selke goes to Holly for the third consecutive season. Good for him. Ted Lindsay goes to Svech. Maurice Richard goes to No Name. And McDavid adds to his collection. Year 12, deep in McDavid's career now. We see he's dropped to 93 overall from 96 last year. Just skipped right past elite potential, went down to top 6. Stats are still there. Physical's going down. Still 3 years left on his contract. But it's now or never. 34 years of age. We got to do it now. Elliott's up to 92. First line's looking good. Second line's okay with Barkov there. And third line's pretty solid. So D, much of the same. As I've said numerous times, nothing special. Looking at the power play here, I think they could be pretty lethal. Good stats on that power play. In goal, Dmitriev's grown, that medium elite goalie, up to an 85. So could be the year. Looking at the end of the year now, 11th, 96 points, good. Goals for, pretty good, 3.21. Goals against, not bad. Power play, only 20%. Expected more. Individual stats, well, I expected more from McDavid. Thought he'd be around that 100 points, but I guess his age is catching up to him. Still above a point per game. I guess the team scored by committee this year. Still managed 39 goals. It's respectable, but yeah, down to 89 overall. Still top 6, holding that top 6 throughout the year, but 89, he's dropping pretty quick here. Looking at his stats, all pretty high, but a little bit down for sure. Playoffs lost in first round, Game 7. McDavid failed to register a goal, only 15 shots, 1 power play point. Not looking good going into the offseason. Here's a playoff tree.
Lost to the Ducks in 7 in the first round. Awards here. Detroit wins the cup. Their long-awaited cup after this rebuild. Played against the Canucks. Individual awards, McKinnon wins the Ross and the Hart. Fabro takes home the James Norris. Lady Bang goes to McKinnon. Miller wins the Calder. For us, Conn Smythe goes to Zubov. So I guess he got it done. Trader. Other than that, let's see anything. McKinnon wins another Ted Lindsay and a Maurice Richard. So big year for McKinnon. Year 13, getting to the nitty gritty. McDavid has officially been booted off the first line. Now on the second line at 35 years of age, dropped to the top 9. Still an 87, listed as a first liner. Stats are still good, but physical's fallen off a cliff. 2 years left on that deal. Good news is, signed the Selke winner from the past season, Taylor Manderville. Pretty solid prospect. Probably gave up an arm and a leg for him. Miller was the Calder Trophy winner from last year. Drafted him actually, medium franchise. Good pick by the Oilers brass. So looks like they can produce there on the first line with Pablo Connor. And second line's not bad. Barkov, let's see what his contract is. I remember it's pretty high. 10.1 for 2 more years at age 37, 80 overall. That's an albatross if I've ever seen one. On D, who is this guy? Markku Lindman. So looks like Edmonton finally went out and got a number 1 D man, but at what cost? Looking at the rest of their D, it's pretty weak and just some fill-ins. Goal got a 39-year-old Connor Hellebuck, but Dmitriev there, he's pretty solid. And scratch got Kaliev and some decent depth. Got to give some props to the Oilers organization for loading up in what could be McDavid's final year. So let's see how they do. And that's embarrassing. Second last place. The only thing more embarrassing is the Bruins season, 48 points. Holy. 30th place, goals far below 3 and way above 3 for goals against. Power play, not great. PK, average at best. So let's look at the individual stats. Yeah, not great. Manderville, not as good of a season as last. Miller, okay. McDavid, just 60 points, down to an 83 overall. Third line scoring forward, minus 10. Only 18 goals, no power play goals in the season. 14 power play points only. No power play goals. That's a dagger. That's a huge dagger. Only shot 8.1% on the season. And, well, hopefully he comes back next year and has a big season. But Stanley Cup goes to the Avs, and it was the Avs versus the Hurricanes in the finals. Fitzy wins the Art Ross. Also wins the Hart. Dodge. Kako, Sankov. McKinnon wins the Conn Smythe. What a beast. Don't know who this guy is. Yeah, don't know many of these guys anymore. See if anyone we know wins anything. Rest of the awards just go to no-name guys, Fitzy, but things are about to go from bad to worse for the Oilers, as one of the picks they gave up to get Manderville ends up first overall and goes to Vegas. And looking at the draft here, they end up selecting Matthias Moden, who is a 84 overall sniper right out of the draft. I just had to sim ahead a few picks just to see who else is going, and of course, another sniper, 83 overall medium elite. Third overall, another sniper, 82 overall, and fourth overall, another sniper. So missed out there for the Oilers. That's a big misfire. McDavid says, I ain't leaving just yet, as he's back for another season, year 14. And Miller looking good, first line's looking good, medium franchise. Got Manderville still at 90 overall, but as you make your way down the lineup, you see McDavid there on the third line. Not used to seeing him down there. 36 overall. 36 years old, bottom 6 potential. Last year was a contract. This has to be it for him. Storied career, but we'll see. Can they make a run to the Stanley Cup Finals, a place he's never been before? Oh, and a goal. It's not looking good. Not looking good, boys. Got Joe Battaglia, medium elite, but only 73 overall. There it is, boys. McDavid gets dealt to the nation's capital. At least he's going to Ottawa. played his whole career in Canada, but Oilers upgrade their decor and their goaltending, but at what cost? At what cost? McDavid now down to an 82, headed to Ottawa. Ottawa's not a bad team. They're in contention for a playoff spot. Let's see what their lines look like with McDavid on there. So it looks like he's going to be taking over first line center ahead of Byfield, which is interesting. So far 20 points, 40 games. That's just weird to see. That's weird to see. 37 years of age, maybe can rejuvenate, get a little bit more juice. Playing with these young kids in Ottawa. On D, that looks like an Edmonton decor back there. And in goal, they just traded away Gustafsson, so wasn't expecting too much. And at the end of the season, Ottawa finishes in 27th, Edmonton second last, so didn't get that last bit of playoff experience he was hoping for. Ottawa didn't score much, gave up 3.33 goals against. Power play was dismal, 10.8%. PK, all right. Going into the individual stats, got to go way down the list here to find McDaddy. 59 games, was injured in Ottawa, so didn't get to play too many games. 30 total points, minus 12, 7 power play points only. Played almost 17 minutes a game, so production isn't there for what is expected for 17 minutes of ice, which is probably second line role. Looking at his splits here, played 39 Edmonton, only 20 in Ottawa. Almost half a point per game, pretty much, and only 1 power play point in Ottawa. That'll get you down to 80 overall. Like I said, last year's contract. Awards, won't be seeing McDavid. Won't be seeing McDavid in there. Stutzel, Lady Byng. Dodge wins the Conn Smythe. Defenseman. Vezina goes to Jenner. Don't know any of these guys. Take a miracle for McDavid to win something at this point. And that's it, boys. That's a career for the great. The next great one, Connor McDavid ends his career with Ottawa. Funny enough, he retires with Eichel. His nemesis, of course, they went 1-2 in the 2015 draft. Comparing their stats, pretty tight for games played. Goals are pretty tight. Eichel edged him out. Of course, he had quite a few Maurice Richards in there, but McDavid just demolished him in assists. So points wise, McDavid comes out on top. Eichel still retires at an 84. So he still had some juice left, and this past season had 67 points. Comparing the two early on, obviously McDavid was better, but then once Eichel hit his prime, he had a couple Maurice Richard seasons there. Eichel was pretty consistent there, around a point per game, a little bit over for most of his career. And retires as a second liner, still some pride. Not saying that McDavid doesn't have any pride. McDavid's still a competent player. Looking at his career stats, obviously last season isn't what you want. Not a storybook ending for him, but their stats taking quite a hit. But great season, or great career, sorry. And we'll compare stats to some of the all-time leaders here. Just a visualization of his career totals. Regular season, 1,473 games, 656 goals, 1,064 assists, 1,720 points, and led his team in points 14 of 19 seasons. And most of the time when he didn't lead, he was injured. Career highs for him season-wise. Highest goal total is 48, assists 75, and points 116. On the right there, awards, Art Ross 4 times, Hart twice, Ted Lindsay 3 times. So good amount of Art Rosses. I expected more accolades, more awards. I expected him to get a few more Harts. I think he got robbed a few times, but he's definitely missing the most prized award of all, the Stanley Cup. Didn't even make it to the Stanley Cup Finals in his career, and I think you can hear the pain in my voice that I just had to simulate these 14, 15 seasons, just watching pure incompetence from the Edmonton Oilers and wasting away a generational talent such as Connor McDavid.
On screen now, you guys can see his where he stacks up in all-time rankings. For points, he slots in ninth. For goals, he slots in at number 14, and in assists, he finishes ninth as well. So pretty good. Stacks up all time. Definitely a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he compares to Gretzky or Lemieux and probably Crosby in the future. It's a wrap for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, subscribe and leave a like. Also comment if you guys like these career sims. They take a really long time to make, but it's a labor of love. I love doing this. I love hockey and I love this game. So if you guys are interested in more of these, just let me know below. That's it for me. Take care. See you next time.